Good morning folks, and welcome to another episode from the kitchen. You may remember that I did the roast beef and it didn't really come out as well as we expected. The timings were still out even with the adjustments. Anyway, since then we've done a lamb chops with roast potatoes and it was a great success, but I didn't video it. So anyway, we're doing it again today. Now, I don't know about in your household, but in our household we tend to eat different meals. We all like different things, and today it's just my father and I. We've got 6 lamb steaks in here, so we'll have those each. Mum, she's having a ready-made meal which will go in the microwave, and just to make matters easier, my parents I've got a bag of veg which we're going to do in the microwave as well. Right, so let's get on. Let me just tell you what's happening. I've actually now put my potatoes on. They're going to be parboiled. I usually put those on, they'll be put on just before I put the meat on. Now the meat's been put in here, and I've just realised there's one thing we forgot to put in. We need to put some lard in, folks. Now for you it's probably going to be vegetable oil, but we're an old-fashioned family, and well, according to the news just lately, they're saying that lard's better than vegetable fat, so I don't know how true that is, but we've never stopped. So apart from when we do homemade chips in the deep pat fryer, and that's done in vegetable oil. Right, so I'm going to put a couple of blocks of lard in here. That's it. We can leave the knife there because we're going to be needing some more of this later, but I'll put it back in the fridge for the moment. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to put it on its highest temperature. In this case it's 200 Celsius, and we're going to cook it on this setting for 20 minutes. There we are, folks. That's it in operation. It will go on and off. If you're not familiar with a halogen oven, that's quite normal. As always, I'll tell you what basically is going to happen. 20 minutes on this setting. At that point, the potatoes should have been quite well boiled. Not enough for what we like, because we normally boil them for about 40 minutes, but that's going to be adequate to go in with the meat. It will work out because we've tested it. So yeah, so 20 minutes. Potatoes then come out the saucepan, they get put in with the meat. We just splash a bit of the juice around over the meat and the potatoes, and then basically we reduce the heat down to 170 180 Celsius, and we cook for another 30 minutes. We then turn the meat over. We also give the potatoes, we turn the potatoes over and give them a little splash with the juices, and then basically it's cooked for another 30 minutes. And then that's ready to be served. It'll be all fine. But you'll see as we go along. Obviously, when you're cooking different meals, it's helpful to have everything written down on a piece of paper. So I've got it, it's all down here. Meat in, 9:45, potatoes parboil, 10:05 meat on for 30 minutes at 180 C. Then 10:35 turn meat over 30 minutes. 11:05 so 11:05 it'll be ready. But before that, we need to make sure that the mum's catered for, so the veg will go on 14 minutes before the end, which is at 10:50. And then 10:57, potatoes, the veg comes out, we put her microwave meal, which according to this is 7 minutes. And that's it, that's basically how it's done. And the only thing missing from this is the gravy. As usual, 2 tablespoons of corn flour, 2 of pesto powder. In fact, let's get them out of the cupboard. If you're not in the UK, I'm not sure whether you can get pesto, but this is the original gravy powder, and this is just corn flour. And they're the 2 ingredients for the gravy. And what I also do is add some of the juice from whatever I'm cooking into that mix. Just a few tablespoons, that's all you need. You don't need a great deal. And as far as the saucepan goes, if normally we do the gravy for 2 days, and that's kind of habit. So I guess I could do smaller quantities of both the flour and the pesto, but if I stick to what I know, then I'm not going to get any disappointments. But what I'm doing will be enough for 2 days. So say you were doing a joint, there'd be enough gravy then for the next day. You don't need, it might go, it will go all stiff and that, but all you do the next day, folks, is you just add a bit of water, not a lot, just a little, and you put it on the oven and on the hob, and then you just give it a good stir, and it will come back to life. And you can tell then if it's very thick, you just add a bit more water. I tend to have some going on the kettle, hot boiling water. It's easier to do it that way. It's not going to interfere with any heating process then. Right, so that's what we're doing this morning. Now, what I'm hoping to do as well this week, I mean I've got a lot of wine making and what have you to do, but I'm hoping to do this chocolate fudge cake mix. And the only thing that's put me off cakes, folks, and you're going to laugh at this, I can't crack an egg without getting the shell in the bowl. And I don't like eggs, I just don't like them. But anyway, I'm gonna have a go at it, so you can have a good laugh at that when I put a video up. Hopefully you don't mind. It is a bit awkward. I do realise that there's folks out there who have just joined and all they want to see is gardening, but there's not a lot you can do this time of the year. And as I've said before, you just need to look at the title, and if you're not interested, don't watch. But the gardening ones will be back soon, and usually I'm back on the plot doing things in January. So we're only a month away, folks. That's it then. We'll come back in a little while. Okay, folks, it's coming up to 20 minutes now, and you can see that the juices are swirling around in the halogen oven. The meat's beginning to brown, and you'll see in a minute the light will come on and off. There you are, look at that, folks. Can you see in there? Doesn't it look lovely? Got the potatoes boiling away here nicely. So basically when this stops, oh, and there you are, folks, it stopped. So now it's time to put the potatoes around the meat. So let's get it back on the tripod. Okay, folks, first thing to do is put the top onto a surface where it's not going to burn. We've got it on the top of the hob. We're going to switch the potatoes off. I've just got to, I'm just thinking, these are all, let's just have a quick peep. Yeah, these are all going to go actually in with the meat because it's going to be for Dad and I. So I'm actually going to just drain it. I was thinking about using this because last time we had some potatoes left over and it's a bit awkward to get them out without the water going in with the meat, but we don't need that this time, so I'm just going to use a spoon. I suppose I could just tip them all in. Oh, hang on, apparently if you just do this, swirling around, it makes them a bit fluffy. Okay. Right, let's just put them all in, folks. They're all going to go in. There you are, much easier. We'll stick that back out of the way, and at this point we're just going to give them a little splash around so the juices are all over them, because we want them to cook nicely with the full flavour. Now we tend to cook more than enough food, so sometimes there's food left on the plate, but when you've got a dog, that's not an issue. I know some people count the potatoes, we don't really, we only do a rough count. So that's it, folks. We can now put it back on for 30 minutes this time. And we've got to make sure it's down to about 180 degrees Celsius, which I've just altered. And that's it. Back again later. Well, folks, I have to say this dinner is smelling absolutely beautiful. Just look at those roast potatoes and the meat cooking in there. Absolutely fantastic. We've only got about 5 minutes to go and then it's time to turn over. But in the meantime, let's get a saucepan out. So we're using a medium-sized saucepan. I guess we've probably got it about between 1/3 and 1/2 full with water. We're going to get, what we're basically doing is preparing the gravy mix. So as always, folks, 2 tablespoons. We find we can use this mix with any meat what we cook, whether it's beef, turkey, lamb, chicken, pheasant, duck, whatever. I do it slightly different to what Mum does it. I've got my own style and it works for me, and there's no grumbles with my gravy. It's always nice and strong. It's not runny, you know, like water like you get in a lot of places. You know, it's proper gravy. That mix is all done. We won't put that in until about well, just before we're ready to start making the gravy, which will probably be about 15 minutes before the dinner's ready. But we'll leave that over here out of the way because I need that space to take this lid off. And it's the phone, folks, so I'm going to have to stop. Sorry about that, folks. One of those nuisance phone calls. And they're crafty now. They started off saying about pat testing, you know, to make sure whether you got a labelling on, because I used to do computer repairs a lot from home. Then it quickly switched on about, it was basically a survey. Oh, God, they really annoy me. Right, folks, we're nearly there. This is going to stop any minute and then we can get on with the next stage. We're only half an hour away from eating. While that's doing that, as always, you've got to be organised, folks, so put things away, don't leave things out. And there we are, we've just heard the bell, that tells us that this is all ready. I've discovered that it's never too hot to hold, so we can put that down just there. We're going to get a fork out. And basically we're going to turn the meat over now, folks. We'll start with meat. And now it's going to be a matter of splashing the potatoes around in the fat, because they all want to be nice and moist all the way around. Because that's what gives the best taste for the roast potatoes, folks, if they're soaked in the fat of the cooking. The meat's obviously been soaked in fat anyway because we've turned it over. So now we can put the top back on. Put it on for half an hour again. And that's it, folks. It's looking good. I'm really looking forward to this. Roast potatoes now are just absolutely lovely, and I love my roast potatoes. Apparently you can, if you buy some ready-made Yorkshires, you can actually, just 5 minutes before everything's ready, you can just stick those in and they'll cook nicely. But I forgot, I did see them and I was going to get them, but then I forgot. Never mind. Back in a bit. Right, folks, I've added the gravy mix, you know, into the saucepan. Can you see what the colour is? It's that kind of light, very light brown. That needs to darken up to a very dark brown. Basically, I should be giving that a stir. Hear the dog barking, so I'm just going to have to go and have a quick peep. Alright, folks, thought it was somebody at the door, but it's not. It's a flying object in the garden. I can't mention her name because she recognises every word you say. So while I'm doing this, I've actually put the veg already into the microwave, because even though that's going to finish 7 minutes before the dinner's ready, it will remain hot in the bag. It's all a matter of being organised and timings. It is for me anyway. You have to be when you've got a small kitchen like this one. probably takes about 5 minutes of stirring the gravy. Basically, we don't want the corn flour and the pesto mix to thicken up. You know, get all clumpy, I should say. Those roast potatoes do look yummy. And the lamb, ooh. It's just starting to change now. I was just dreaming then, folks. That's why I went so quiet. I often daydream. Must be great when you've got somebody to help you do things, you know, so you can just concentrate on one thing and not worry about the other. But you know, parents are getting too old now, so I kind of basically take charge of most of it. It's been a learning process about the last, I suppose it's the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah, about 4 years. Up until then, I did very little cooking. I just did things like fries and that, but I never did a roast up until then. But then my mum, she became very ill and was in hospital twice with pneumonia, and basically I had to then take charge of the meals. And, it was a learning curve, but I enjoy doing my roast dinners and my lamb steaks and experimenting a bit, but we don't like, you'll never see any spices or sauces in our meals, because we just don't, none of us like that. I don't know whether you can see now, I'm sure, I think you can just see this saucepan. You can see how it's gone like a chocolate brown now. That's actually, that's almost ready, so I can actually turn that right down. Got about 10 minutes to go now, so I think what we'll do is we'll just let that simmer away for a minute or so. Then I'm going to switch it off, and then I'll just put it back on just before dinner's ready to be served, just to make sure it's hot enough. Okay. Oh, folks. I can believe this, folks. I've just been talking and I haven't been recording. Oh dear. Sorry about that, folks. And if you do get this twice, I apologise, but I've just been stirring the gravy, and it's all thickened up now to another lovely chocolate brown. So that's all ready. I'm going to switch it off, and I'll put it back on just before it's time to serve up, which is about 8 minutes time. Veggie's done in the microwave. meant to put it in a microwave bowl, but I forgot. Now I'm going to put the next meal in for my mum. And so everything will be ready to serve in 7 minutes time. And that tallies with that, so we've got it all smack on. We can get the knives and forks out. We can go on the table. And that's it. I'll see you shortly. Okay folks, the meat and the potatoes are all done. I've just stuck the gravy on. I'm just going to let that heat up, giving it a quick stir. Just make sure that that's heat. We're going to take this off now. And that can go there. And it's time to serve up. Wrong plate folks, that's my mum's. Right, let's get Dad's out of the way. Folks, look at that, that's for me Dad. Just got to have the gravy. That's all heated up now. We'll just give that a quick stir. Mum's is now ready in the microwave. That's mine taken care of. Okay, let's just add a bit of this juice into the just enough to give it that taste, added taste to it. I'm just going to stir that in. That's it, that's all done. This is done. You can unplug it. And we'll show you in a minute when it's on the plate. Hi folks, I'm not sure how the recording's been going because I've been talking, it weren't recording, so I'm not sure what was going on there. But anyway folks, the dinner's all been served up now, so I apologise if you've missed parts of the recording. But you can see that's the finished produce, the roast lamb, roast potatoes, well I should say lamb steaks, same for Dad, he's got some veg, and Mum's got her hot pot, which she's not tried before. Okay, thanks for watching.